Welcome to the Simcoe County Archives. My name is Jen Huddleston, and I'm the private collections archivist.
And I'm Olivia White, and I'm the Digital Preservation Archivist.
The Simcoe County Archives has actually been open since 1966. We were originally part of an expansion put into the Simcoe County Museum. We were very lucky. We're a centennial project. In the 1970s, we were fortunate enough to get our own building, and we've subsequently had a couple expansions, so we now have 18,000 square feet of dedicated space for housing the documentary heritage of the County of Simcoe.
And here we are in the reading room, which is the public-facing side of our space. Members of the public can come here and view records and speak with our reference coordinator to get help with anything they might need.
So there's a lot more to see. Why don't we head on in and take a look? This is Records 3. This is part of the newest part of the building. It was constructed in 2012 as a 10,000 square foot expansion on the original building. And in here we keep things like municipal records, newspapers, a lot of paper-based media. This part of the building is really special because it actually has an envelope built all the way around it so that none of the records are touching an exterior facing wall. It also has other great features like this rolled shelving. So this basically means that we're able to maximize the amount of space that we have here in order to keep as many records as we can.
So we are about to enter Record 6, which is our coldest vault here at the archives, because that is where we store our film and glass plate negatives, and they like to be kept cool. So in our facility, we have an HVAC system, which helps to stabilize the temperature and humidity of the space. And so with our 6 vaults, we have a variety of temperatures to keep the records at a desired temperature. And in Record 6, we keep it at about 2 degrees and 30% relative humidity. And we also use these AD strips as well to monitor the rate of vinegar syndrome in our film, because over time acetate film deteriorates and it gives off a vinegar smell, and this is called vinegar syndrome. And so by using these strips, they detect the level of acidity in the records, and with this information we can isolate those records and protect them for the long term. So here we are in the conservation lab, which is where we perform light conservation work for a lot of our records.
And we've actually pulled some examples of records that we house here at the archives. We have examples of our corporate records, and then we have also some private records and some material from our reference collection.
So this here is a patent book. It is from the 19th century all the way up to 1907, and it holds a lot of information about land. So who was acquiring this land, when it was being documented, as well as who was documenting this land and where. So what's interesting about this book, there are several authentication factors here that were used to ensure that this book was not tampered with. So you can see here there is a watermark which exists on several of the pages, so that when you hold it up to the light, you can see that this paper was the original from the manufacturer. As well, there's water marbling along the edges of the book, which are used in case someone were to try to remove a page from the book. You can tell based on the coloring that something is missing. So these are some features that make this book very interesting from a material standpoint. From a social standpoint, it has a lot of information about families and people that were settling in the area all over Simcoe County. So we've pulled it to this page of Oro Township, which is now Oro Medonte, and this is Wilberforce Street, which had a notable population of Black families in the area. So learning about this record, you can see the different families that were settling into the area, where they were settling, and when it was being documented. And using that information, someone can learn more about their family by pulling more records and gaining a bigger understanding of maybe where their family ended up.
And here, kind of keeping in step with Oro, or Oromodonte, this is from one of our Women's Institute branches. It's a Tweedsmuir history, which was a compilation of different information about a community that the members of the WI would have put together. This one's for Edgar. And you can see here that they've profiled a bunch of different local businesses. So they have here a grist mill that was there, a sawmill, a blacksmith shop. It's a really fascinating document. This comes from obviously a private collection, so it's not a corporate record, but it's more of a social history compiled by residents. And yeah, it's a really fascinating look at the town. This one, I believe, was created in the 1970s, but it has a lot of different historical information about the area. And then down here, we also have a map that comes from our Belden Atlas. This is for a map of Oro specifically, and it can be used for researchers coming in who want to get an idea of maybe where something was at the time. I believe this one is from the 1870s, maybe 1880s.
Thank you so much for joining us on our tour today. We are so excited to show what Simcoe County Archives has to offer.
And if you're interested in taking a look at our records, you can book an appointment on our website.